Right, okay, hello everyone. So I'm late. What's going on here then? Right, so 16 at the moment. Is our number? I don't know if we've got anybody joining late or anything like that. Massey's just gone fast, it's 37.8. 38.6 from Junkie. There's plenty of drivers coming over the line. Valungus 37.8. McLaren as well. Daguna 37.7 goes fastest. The other Ferrari X11 didn't. Well, he'd invalidated. Looks like he must have invalidated at the end of the lap because he's invalidated the next lap as well. Who's that? That's Craig has gone up to 6th. That's last week's driver to date. Crisp P7. What's going on here? Vitez, Dino Vitez. Really final corners. And, oh no, not the proper time from him. Somebody just jumped up. I think that was Chris. No, it wasn't. Carton King jumps up 38.7 into P6. Here is Monsters, who is a friend of Whoopi's. Joined us to help with numbers tonight, so he goes across. P10 at the moment, 40.1. Bowden off tracks, something not quite right there for Bowden. Swiglets. Over the bridge. Somebody went out of the way on the outside. Not actually sure if he's on a hot lap or not, if I'm honest. Just have to watch and find out, I guess. No, he can't be. He can't be on a hot lap. There's no way he's getting round on the correct sort of time. And that's, if I just caught that, I believe that was a 5-place grid penalty that's been given to Chip Van. So he will start 5 places lower than whatever he qualifies as Twiglet comes round then, but no, as suggested, not a proper lap. And Bowden is into the pits. And Dano Vitez got his lap on the board this time, P10 on a 139.5. Just remember it is short qualifying followed by the 50% race, so strange one in Singapore. It's as you can see by the qualifying times here, it's a pretty long lap. I think it's the second longest lap of the season after Spa. I can't think of any others that are in like the 130. Well, race lap times being a low 140s, so can't think of any others. I believe, yeah, other than Spa, it's the second. It must be the second longest lap of the season. So, yet it's actually quite a lot of laps in the race. So it is quite a long race. It's I'm struggling to remember now exactly. I think it's 33 laps. So it is a long one. So Baku is probably the only other. Spa be the longest. I think this is the second longest with Baku. Pretty close for this actually, isn't it? But yeah, in a way, let's see if we can spot anyone. Anybody improving? The way he's driving, I think this is a hot lap. Right then. No, Mr. Well, are you in where are you then? You in work? I assume you are. Sunday nights. You normally work Sunday nights, don't you? so Whoopi's showing purple on the map. Because he's not got a time on the board, I can't be 100% sure that's correct. It certainly could be. I have to say, I absolutely love this track. One of my absolute favourites. Like 2 or 3 versions ago of the game, it would have been right down at probably my worst track of the season, my most hated track. It was right down there. Now, Monaco's pretty much on its own down there, so Whoopi goes P2 on a 137.8. Yeah, now it's definitely Monaco down there and probably Canada. You'll have to say, I just did Canada last night and did quite a bit of practicing for it and really got my TT improved for me. I'm not the quickest driver in the world, so I managed to improve it to a 110.2, which put me ahead of Mr. Wales, so I was quite pleased with that. And, yeah. So if Wales heard that, he'd be sweating Canada and so he's back in front again. And flag is set to 2. The vast majority of the times, yellow flags pop up in qualifying of any sort, but especially at a track like this, normally a driver minding out the way of another. There you go. And the Massey takes provisional pole. Bowden, unfortunately, is invalidated there. Massey 37.499. Wolfie makes his way back round to the pits. Anybody else? Chip Van on an improvement, but remember has the grid place penalty. Crosses the line, goes P6 on a 38.0, which would be net P11 after penalty. Gooner 37.2, so big improvements coming in. Expect to see a bit faster yet, to be honest. Sometimes you don't. I do find in my experience you don't tend to see the absolute fastest laps that you tend to see. Sorry, let me start that again. So I do find that you don't tend to see in short qualifying sessions really fast laps like you do in the full qualifying sessions. But I'm really sure the reason, I guess it's just all feels a bit rushed. Probably makes a difference, but anyway, that's X11 invalidates. Hunter. I haven't done the hilly hot lap yet, so we'll look to get that done in just a moment. Perhaps with Craig, he was driver of the day last week, so perhaps this week we'll let's do the hilly hot lap with him. And looking at the track, he's 2 cars behind us on track, so it's actually really well timed to be able to go to him after Hunter finishes his lap. I think he is, isn't it? I might be wrong. Craig might be on his lap now. Yeah, I think I'm not sure. We'll find out in a moment. Hunter over the line in a way, 138.6 puts him into P8. And yeah, no, I was right. Craig is coming around to start a lap. So here we go on board then for the hilly hot lap. Heading up to turn 1, DRS open. Turns 1, 2 and 3. And sort of S-bend. And of course start getting a bit of lagging on screen as we go try and do a hilly hot lap. Wi-Fi off. Head up to turn 4. Sort of, it's an odd corner to explain, but it really is all about getting a good exit onto the straight. A little kink in the straight will be turn 5, heading down to turn 6. Late braking, late apex. You could take loads of inside curve there, so that's the way forward. And where Craig can find a bit of time there. Heavy braking into the difficult right-hander and to the pretty high-speed left-hander actually, but again you've got to be able to take the pace onto the straight. And we come through this difficult section. I can't begin to tell you how difficult the traction is just here if you're on no traction. And then the heavy braking for the hairpin. Open up DRS, head down to the late braking right-hander, late apex. Don't really want to use the curve there. Keep it over to the left as your next corner. To the right, sort of chicane. Then late braking, pick up some inside curve here, under the bridge. Right, and down towards the end of the lap. Now, on that chicane, we've got this lovely, brilliant left-hander. It is kind of two corners, but you take it as one, and it's you improve like Craig has there to a 38.6 and go P8, but still plenty of time in that lap for me. So, Monster's just coming round to start his next run. So we'll use the in-car cam. Oh, no, he's going to come into the pits, is he? He's indeed. So, there's a Ferrari. Longest. He certainly hasn't hung about on an outlap there for longest, so here we go. Trying to balance, you've got to get the tyres up to temperature on your outlap, but at the same time you don't want to take too much out of them, which is possible around here. Such a long lap that heavy braking, tight turns, does take a lot out of your tyres. Up into turn 6, nicely done through there. Pretty good so far. We're close to the walls for corner entries and exits, but not at any point touching them. Didn't take any curve there, it was a bit late turning in. Nice through the hairpin, opens up the DRS. Not a bad looking lap here from Volungus, I have to say. Go under the bridge. Bits of curb here and there, but not relying on that to be fast. And it looks decent. It's 37.7. That puts it up to P3. A decent lap from Volungus. It looked pretty good. And I think that was on a second run on those tyres. I don't think that was. I think maybe he'd invalidated his first actual run on those tyres, and that was his second attempt, so he's done a good job there. His teammate is about to come across the line. It's 11. Nothing changed on the screen. He's gotten over the line just in time that he may have been actually starting a lap. As Bowden retires out in the pits. Van heads to the line, 137.7. That puts him just ahead of Volungus, taking P3 off of him. But of course he has the 5th place grid penalty. But a Mercedes on the way round. This is Monsters. Seems to be timing him properly. I don't know what's going on there, but P15 for Monsters. Junkie improves P4, and it looks like the Gooner has probably got pole here. He's invalidated that lap in a way. Whoopi potentially could be a challenger for that. So Massey could improve 137.333. P2. What can Whoopi do? Oh, he invalidates. What would he have done? 37.485 would have had him in P3. But he invalidates, so P6, although he will be one of the ones that gains a place because of Chip Van's penalty. And I think, yeah, X11 not improving, so I think that's it. So it's going to be, so congratulations to the Gooner who takes pole for McLaren, Massey P2, Chip Van in 3, but of course there's the grid place penalty, so McLaren are going to be 1 and 3, Junkie Emperor will be promoted to 3rd, Volungus to 4th, Whoopi to 5th, Bowden to 6th, and KK to 7th, and then Chip Van will start 8th. Craig will be P9, carrying on the good form from last week, getting a top 10 qualifying. Hunter in 10th, Crisp in 11, Twiglet 12, X11 13, Darno Valtes 14, Monsters in 15, and Ronaldo P16. Didn't get a clean lap on the board, unfortunately. Hello, Massey. Hello, Massey. I messed up the final sector earlier. Missed out on a pole position. But, oh, well, in fact, it looks like I had the wrong man. I thought that Chip Van had a penalty, but it looks like I misread it. It looks like it's the Gooner. So the Gooner takes pole position, but has a 5th place grid penalty, so we'll drop to 6th. Just scroll through those positions quickly. There we go. Race director, incidents. There's the... there you go. That's why I thought it was Chip Van, because it was a collision with Chip Van. There you go. So the Gooner picks up a 5 place grid penalty for a collision with Chip Van. So ultimately, Massey, you will get the pole position in a way. So, yeah, slightly wrong on some of the positions that I said. But that's fine. Anyway, guys, as always, we'll be taking a quick break, so don't go away, or quickly nip and get yourself a drink or something and be back. We'll be getting going very shortly. So we just take a quick break, so just bear with me, I'll be back with you. Right, back with you guys. So, up to the start. Just gonna have a quick look in Discord, see if there's any messages. Okay, just checking with Discord. Looks like there's a bit of fun going on in there.
Show confidence even if you're not.
Right, just waiting for somebody to... Oh no, we're not. Okay, we're apparently going. So, formation lap first, of course. I'll take... What was that then? Somebody spinning around at the start. So Massey's off on his formation lap in a way. Some people are following, others are spinning. Don't worry about that. Let's look at the tyres. Massey has opted for the hard tyres, chip bands on the mediums. Junkie Emperor on hards, Volungus on hards. Whoopi and Dagoon are both gone for the medium tyres, presumably to try and help them get through the grid a little bit at the start. Bowden hards, Carton King and Craig both on hards. Hunter, Crisp, Twiglet and X11 all on the medium tyres. Dino Vites, Monsters and Ronaldo starting the hards. So, yeah, I got the lap count slightly wrong. It's 31 laps, but shoot, that is plenty enough. It's the only track, or the only race I've done on 100% where we didn't get to finish because we hit the 2 hour on a full wet race here. So, just like in real life, the race stops at 2 hours if that is reached. I'm not quite sure what we're doing here. Don't know why Whoopi's making his way through the field on a formation lap. Seems to be a bit of silly buggers going on at the moment. Right, so just coming around to start finish line, and Massey really pointing his car over to the left. Presumably, it's going to look to Cross in front of Chipman as the lights go out, and away we go. Massey gets off to a good start. The two McLarens both get off to good starts. Look how much the Gooner's made up. And Chip Van's been cool, and he's round. Oh, after such a great qualifying from him, what a shame. The Gooner incredibly finds itself up in P2. What a start. Let's go to him as he's already trying to see if there's anything they could do about Massey at this early point. Yeah, I noticed. Yeah, well, you're right. Yeah, James. Yeah, it's a shame, to be honest. I think the whole world, other than Manchester United fans, wanted Newcastle to win today, but I can't. A Manchester United fan who's a mate of mine messaged me before the match and said, "What do you think the score would be?" And I said 2-0 United. Not 2-0 Manchester United. So I kind of thought that was going to be the case, but hey, if you're a Newcastle fan, it's just great to be in a cup final, quite frankly, for the first time in so long. So the front two then breaking away. Whoopi as well with a great start, already up into P3. Going to see if we can keep the gap to the front two down. Little junkie as well. Then we got the two Ferraris, Volungus and X11, two Lithuanians. Running very well early doors. And then 7, KK and 8. So let's just take a quick look at the position changes. And we got X11 was the top starter. He's up 8 places. On 13th on the grid. Chip Van obviously was the biggest loser, having been. I think he was spun around. I don't think he lost it himself. I feel like there was contact. And I think it was turn 3. Just drops him down to 15th. But all to play for still. It's a long, long race. Plenty can happen. Rookies really working at the moment on trying to get the gap down to these guys ahead, and he is doing that. It's only just outside DRS range, which will of course activate when we go over the line next. So there we have it. Massey, fastest lap, immediately beaten by Whoopi, who has got the gap down. So now the question is, can Junkie do the same? It gets back to tyres a second, just to remind myself. So yeah, so Junkie Emperor is the other one that starts it on hard, high up. So long way to go. It's, hey, Mr. Heat Gang. Thanks for joining, mate. It was a good final, was it? Yeah. It's, I should watch the highlights later on, I expect. But yes, Mr. Heat Gang. This HRF1 is a good league. It's one which, well, I only recently became an admin in as well, just commentating. We race obviously this time on a Sunday. And Whoopi's round. And yeah, we race Monday nights as well. Just Heat Gang, so 8 PM UK time on Mondays. Which is needing drivers at the moment as well, actually. So if you're interested, give me a direct message on Discord if you'd be interested in racing the Monday one. Just Heat Gang. This is normally full, by the way, the Sunday. I don't know why we're short tonight, but probably because it's Singapore. Or because United fans are out celebrating. It's one or the other. Or maybe a mixture of the both. Anyway, Wolfie, after the spin, he's recovered. He's in P9. He's missing a left end plate. So is he into the pits? He is. It was clearly costing him time. So he started on the mediums. Presumably he go to the hards. He's going to have to, isn't he? He's going to have to go to the hards and try and push them out to the end. It's going to be a long, long night for Whoopi if there's no safety cars, to be quite honest. It will not be easy to try and push a set of hards out to the end with this many laps to go at Singapore. It is hard on tyres around here. So anyway, X11's up into P4. Junkie obviously took the P3 after the spin for Whoopi. Yeah, I saw the Rashford goal got given as an own goal in the end. For Sven Botman got awarded it as an own goal against him rather than a Rashford goal, but not that makes any difference, to be honest. But, yeah, as long as it was a good match. But I think both clubs are on the up at the moment, which is great. Because, I'll be honest, I've always had a little soft spot for Man United as well. So I know I'm not supposed to, but I have, probably because I grew up in the 90s watching them play. And they were the best team without a doubt. So anything X11's going to be able to do this time. This DRS zone tends to just be a way of getting you closer to the car ahead to give you a better chance in the lead up to turn 6. See this. So, for me, I think he's too far back. Don't think he's going to have enough tarmac. So, yeah, just going to have to... It's just the way it is around here. He's just going to have to settle in. As Ronaldo is into the pits. I'll assume for a ring change, as it's early to pit off hard, so... Have it. See the other Ferrari close to the back of us, and he's not bounding that far behind him either, so in the Haas it's all pretty tight at the moment. Singapore, rather than battles on track, you do get little battles on track like this one, so it will keep us entertained, but it does tend to be a strategy battle more, I think. So if right this second, if I'm honest, I would much prefer to be Massey on the hard tyres. But of course, within the next sort of 5-7 laps of, you know, yeah, sort of next 7 laps or something, a safety car comes out, it would destroy anybody who started on hards. It would destroy their strategies. So we'll have to see. No signs like that at the moment. So X11 runs wide into turn 1, which ultimately is going to lose him his opportunity this lap. So let's just move down to another possibility. We've got this is Hunter on the back of Carton King. So Hunter, the league owner, and Carton King, a long-standing member. I think used to be an admin. I'm not sure. I might be wrong on that, but I'm not sure. It's like keeping away. It's under 10%, so that's why it's flashing away like that. Checking, he's on sort of 9-10%, so yeah, there you go. When he broke into that corner, the light went out. That's because he went over 10%. Now it's flashing again, so he's back under. what it does. And, a little bit stalemated at the moment. Crisp is having a look at Dino Vitez. Lots of lights flashing down here as well. So many drivers already out of ERS at the moment. Well, I don't think so. I don't know. As you know, my memory's not the best of things, so I can't say. I can't say for definite, but no, I don't think I said your name, mate. As Crisp allows Chip Van through. Well, we know from qualifying Chip Van was clearly the quicker of the two Astons, but surprised me a little bit. Crisp was getting on the back of Dino Vitez. I thought he deserved a bit more time than that. Try and get past. As this battle continues, and Daguna very much still on the back of Massey at the front, by the way. A shame, really, that Whoopi spun, because we could have had a bit of a freeway battle going on at the front, but on the other hand, I find it kind of interesting to see how Whoopi responds and gets his way back up the field. I think the pit stop around here is about 21 seconds. It might be a little bit longer. It's not a long pit stop here. It's actually, in terms of actual distance of the pit lane, it's one of the shortest pit lanes of the season. So, well, it's not the quickest, I know that. But I think it's about 21 seconds, which I would say is pretty much average this year. Thinking of all the tracks, apart from Silverstone, which is a much longer pit stop, there's not really many others. France is a bit long. It's only really Silverstone that's a lot longer than 21 seconds. More like 27, 28 around there. Oh no. Soon you're off to bed, you're at work, aren't you? Feel like a silly willy hilly. Oh no, of course you're not at work. What am I talking about? You come back from Portsmouth today, didn't you? I hope you had a good time, Matt. For whatever reason, X11, it just can't seem to stay close enough out of the corners where the DRS start. Oh, and and that I think we can attribute that to the fact he was trying to get on the power to stay close to Junkie Emperor coming out of the corner into the DRS zone, but unfortunately too much power, too quick. It spun him. He made contact with the wall, but I don't think it caused any damage. We'll soon know, because if it did, he'll be in the pits on the next time round. So I'm just wondering if anybody on the mediums might start thinking about an early stop here. It's always a difficult decision to make, but I'm just sort of thinking, well, X11 is dropping places, so I think he is into the pits. Yeah, he is. But yeah, I just wonder, as I say, that if anybody on the medium, it's probably a little bit too early, but if anybody on the mediums might, because of the way that the field's quite backed up, particularly around here, somebody like Hunter might be an option. He's very good at pushing tyres out, so he could potentially go either way. He could go longer on the mediums. No, that wouldn't work for him, actually, because the guys ahead of him are all on hards. goes directly ahead. So yeah, he could look to do a long, hard stint and try and undercut his way ahead of these guys. I can't say for definite it would work, but it's an option. It's definitely very handy. Someone like Hunter that can. Well, I've seen him do it. Particularly on softs, when he can really push him out extra laps to what other people can, and it's definitely a handy skill to have. I don't know how he does it, but or let me put it this way: I don't know how he does it and still maintains a decent pace. That's what I don't understand. So, anyway, Daguna in. So this, like I said, I think this is Daguna pitting early, and so I think this is Daguna pitting early in order to try and undercut Massey, but get a decent lead. Now, the problem is, where is he going to come out? I think he is going to have a little gap to be able to drive into, which is handy. So, now the driver directly ahead of him is on hards, but he's 7 seconds up the road, and of course Daguna's got to heat these hards up, so he's probably going to lose another half a second or maybe even second before the end of this lap, heating them up. So it's not bad for Daguna. That it's a really good gap for him to drive into, so could work for him. What he is going to have, of course, later in the race is a charging Massey on medium tyres in the second half of this race. That is going to be so quick. So we'll see how it plays out. It's interesting. I love how you say that. It was bloody lovely. You're back to work at 5 AM. Oh, goodness me. Out with the missus tomorrow because you've been together 5 years. I swear you told me last week you've been together 6 years. Trust a bloke not to remember. So, Bowden getting extremely close to the Ferrari of Flungus. So, is he going to be able to stay close out of this corner? It's always difficult sticking close. Now the Ferrari caught the curb a little bit. That would have slowed him down. But again, Bowden doesn't have any energy. Don't know why so many drivers have used so much energy already. Well, they've used all of it, basically, haven't they? It's an update on the Daguna. He's already got the gap down to 4.7, but Ronaldo is out. It is in the pits. It is in the pits, so it's not going to cause a safety car. Ronaldo is out of the Singapore Grand Prix. I'm all excited then. I thought we were going to get a safety car, but nope. Another opportunity lurking, but again, the car ahead just seems to be able to pull those extra few meters coming out of the corner, which just make it impossible, quite frankly. There's not much room for manoeuvre in terms of straight line speed because the nature of the track obviously dictates that it is a high downforce track. So other than dropping your wings very slightly, there's not really much room for manoeuvre to make yourself faster in a straight line. So yeah, I've got a little just yeah, nothing's really happening in there. I just wanted to go down to Monsters and Chris because they were under a 10th then, but of course it's gone back up now. Daguna sets fastest lap of the race, so that's certainly something that Massey's going to keep he's going to be aware of. Massey will be saying to himself, he's bound to catch traffic at some point. That's the only problem with pitting early, is that you are, potentially he could have been pitting himself into an absolute maelstrom of cars. Okay, Ronaldo. Wheel broken again. Okay. Thanks, man. And, yeah, sorry, well, should say happy anniversary. Have a good one. Can't believe she wants you to take her out, though. Just took her to Portsmouth for the weekend. Goodness me. Or did she take you to Portsmouth? Right, let's go down to the Gooner. He has caught the back of Dino Vites. Now, good and bad news for the Gooner. Well, the bad news is Dino Vites is also on hard tyres. He started on hards. The good news is, if he can get past Dino Vites, he's got another 5 seconds to go into. And the next 2 drivers ahead are on mediums. In fact, they're pitting out his way now. All 3 drivers ahead that are on mediums have all pitted out his way. So that's 3 out of the way. So now the gap ahead of Dino Vites is just over 7 seconds. So massively important he gets past ASAP here. Yeah, he has got the same problem that pretty much everybody else we've seen has got as well. Oh, I never liked this. Oh, good move. He's managed to pull that off. And fair play to Dino Vites that left the room and didn't try and squeeze him on the exit or anything. Allowed the move. Obviously, Dino Vites would be a good enough racer to Dino Vites. He'd have known he's got a driver with him that's is on fresh tyres, so he wouldn't have been too worried about putting up too much of a fight there at all, Dino Vites. And I think that's good racing. See, I think that's, you know, he had the inside. He's kept the inside, but and basically said to Gooner, if you make the move around the outside, I'll leave you the room. But I'll allow you the room, but you've got to make the move. I'm not just gonna stop and let you by. Oh, Bowden gets all out of shape around the final corner. He actually saves that really well, exceptionally well. I think Carton King would have been thinking for a moment there, oh, he's going. Oh, he saved it. Oh, don't let her see that comment, mind. Of course you went to Portsmouth with her. You're not that brave that you went with someone else. I just assumed, alright, well, I just assumed. If you didn't go with her and you didn't invite me. Oh, and this time Bowden hits a wall. But I think he's gotten away with it. But clearly, Bowden, well, it certainly looks like he's starting to struggle, doesn't it? On the hards. He's on. Just looking at the Gooner, by the way, he's already got that 7-odd second gap to Craig down to 4.5. So, just looking now, Massey's got a 9-second lead to Junkie. That'll be 10, 12.8. 7, 14, 17, 7, 22, 2, yeah, about 22.5 seconds. No, about 22 seconds to Massey. So, what did I say? I said 21, but actually I think it's about 23 seconds of pit stop here. So, I think that the Gooner would pass Massey if he was to pit right this second. Obviously, he's not about to pit this second, but. Anyway, Carton King is into the pit, so he's first to pit off of the hards onto the mediums. That's early. That's very early. Well, I say very. I mean, it's about 4 laps early, I should imagine. For 3 or 4 laps early. We're only going on to lap 15, so you've only completed 14 laps on the hards. So he's asking 17 laps out of mediums. That's a long stint around here. Yeah, I mean, presumably, I can only assume he's done that to react to Hunter, who started mediums and has gone to hards. And as you can see, Hunter was very close to getting an undercut. So I can only assume that KK's done that as a reaction, but his mediums are going to be screaming at him come the end of this race. Anyway, let's go up to Blungis. He's on the back of Junkie still. Ooh, would have got a warning there, I think. The penalties were not too bad today. The four sort of at the back have all got one. Carton King's got one. Oh, Daguna's just got one as well. Oh dear. Oh dear. I think that decides our race winner, if I'm honest. I don't think... I can't see Daguna, no offence to Daguna, but I can't see him being able to keep a charging Massey on medium tyres 3 seconds behind him. So, or over 3 seconds behind him. That's going to be a massive order. So... yeah. So Daguna has closed the gap a bit more to Massey. He's taken about another 2 seconds off of Massey. There's no doubt now that Massey will definitely come out of the pits behind Daguna. But the problem being for Daguna is, of course, that Massey is going to be charging on fresh mediums. Just working out, I think... yeah, and to be quite honest, the gap is such at the moment that if Massey pits, he would come out behind Daguna. There's nobody close enough to Daguna. So the car behind Daguna is Dino Vitez, who's 9.5 seconds down. So there's no way. So, yeah, at any time, really, Massey wants to pit. He's in a great position to do so. But he might hold off because Daguna, well, he won't know, of course, but Daguna is now caught the back of Craig. So, of course, for Daguna, I mean, he's getting these gaps down. He's just taken 7.25 seconds, 7.5 seconds, something like that to Craig. So he must think I'm absolutely charging. He must think he's taking clumps of time out of Massey. But, I mean, he is taking time out of him, but it's certainly not clumps. Well, I'd say that actually he's taken another 1.5 seconds. He is taking decent time, but actually more importantly, really, for Daguna, that overtake means that Massey really needs to hold on to his tyres now, and because if he pits, he'll come out behind Craig, who, unless Craig was to pit and get out his way, could well slow him up. So, difficult one. Good race so far. Enjoyed this. Back to one of our closer battles. Well, our only battle actually at the moment. Really, I mean, there are other battles going on, but they're tactical battles rather than actual on-track battles. And that was Chunky Emperor into the pits. Chunky in from P2. Daguna's already passed him. Craig goes past him. Gaps to Dinovitis is 9.8, which was very similar to what the gap was to Chunky Emperor. So, And there goes Dynamite. So, yeah, in fact, there goes Carton King as well. Well, there goes Carton King. If I'm not very much mistaken, and I don't believe I am very much mistaken, Carton King has just got one hell of an undercut ahead of Junkie Emperor, and he's ahead of him by 4.5 seconds. So if he can make his tyres hold on to the end, KK may have pulled off a hell of a strategy. If he can make them last. I did say it was going to be a long stint. So that now it's down to 17 seconds. Almost. Well, about 17.3 roughly. Between Massey and Daguna. So by my reckoning, that means Daguna would have about a 5.5 second lead when Massey comes out of pits. But again, Massey will be flying on fresh mediums. So Volungus is in, Bowden stays out. Well, presumably, Volungus will exit the pits behind Carton King and Junkie Emperor. Yeah, he will. So, there you go. He might actually lose out to Hunter here, I think. Oh, the goodness gracious me, the undercut is proven extremely powerful around here. So bear this in mind for the next time I do this race. Goodness me. KK has just gotten up into P4. Two of the guys ahead of him still have to pit. So I think penalties are going to play a big part at the end of this race, but 15, 16. Yeah, I think Massey pits now. He comes out behind Daguna in P3. Won't want to leave it too long now. In fact, I've got a feeling Massey. Yeah, there you go. I was about to say I think it'll be in the end of this lap. There you go. He's in. And he's got to, because again, he may not know this, but I think he's got to, because KK is on too much of a charge on fresh mediums. He could get the gap down too much that Massey could end up behind him if he didn't pit there. So Daguna goes into the lead as Bowden pits as well. KK charging up the pit straight, but Massey is on pit exit. But he is KK into the top 3. Dynavite still yet to pit. It's up to P4. Junkie Emperor 5. Hunter 6. I'd say, yeah, Whoopi had to make a pit stop. I must admit, after he went on to hards, I said he should probably go to hards to see if he could push him out, but I think after I said that, I think actually he was probably been better off with a new set of mediums or something, or even a set of softs. I know Vitez is the one that's taking his starting set of tyres the longest, the furthest. It's 19 laps completed on lap 20. Really good stint on the hard tyres from Dynavitez, and he'll be the one that's really trying to power his way through the field. And he moves to the medium tyres. So now things have all settled down. Massey is 10.5 seconds behind Daguna. that is going to be some gap to bring down, but I still think he can do it. The fact he's got a completely clear track, and I don't think he even needs to run quali lap after quali lap. I think if he just drives around normally, he'll take plenty of time out of the Guna every lap. Right, let's go to Volungus, who's caught to the back of Hunter. This is hards on Hunter's car, fresh mediums on Volungus, so he's definitely got the tyre advantage. He's got to somehow keep it close enough, and I think he is. Yeah, it's a good exit. He should have this done down towards Twin 6. On board, up the inside of the Red Bull, and should be able to outbrake him. Take the inside, and there we have it. So that's P6 for Volungus. Nice move. Hunter. Very good racing from pair of them. Hunter left enough room. Didn't do any silly late moves or anything like that. Left the room. And sort of conceded that Volungus can have the position if he gets the move right, and he did. So P6 for Volungus. Obviously, got a few penalties racking up now. I said they'll probably make quite a big difference come the end of this race, and I'm sure he will. We will look at penalties around about lap 28, 29. So, as always, I don't want to look too early. And immediately Hunter's going to come under attack now from Bowden, who's on completely fresh mediums. After Bowden, though, Twigler is on 8 lap mediums, and with Hunter on 8 lap hards, his hards should be able to battle that, so, and cope with that. So I think, yeah, he's going to come under heavy attack from Bowden. Should be hard to hold off, but after that, he should be okay. See ahead of us as well that Volungus is having a look at Dynavites, who's still out, still hasn't pitted, and Volungus then gets past way before the braking zone. Bowden, oh, the inside, very similar to the move from Volungus on Hunter, but as I said, Hunter now should be able to battle with anybody behind him, so really look forward now. And say Dynavites has not pitted yet, so he's completed 21 laps on the same set of hards. This is going to be the 22, surely. I can only assume he's trying to push these out to go to softs and try and hit the fastest lap, maybe. He's, oh goodness, that shows you how slow he is, but that was not good from Bowden. Turn in, the car's there, so, no actual harm done now, so major. As X11, I think, had a spin in the same place he did earlier in the race, and clips the wall on the outside there. Monsters, though, up the inside and up into P13. And, just to mention, oh, there goes part of X11's wing. Yeah, that's, for me, it's a deliberate DNF, and that's going to cause a safety car. And Dynavites is out as well. Guaranteed safety car, but I think that retirement from X11 is going to get looked at. Yeah. Nothing more really to say about that. That's poor. I don't know what's happened to Dynavites. No idea. But the full safety car is out. And Wolfie's back in this race, and I'm a little surprised he's pitted there. If I was him, I'd have carried on. Even laps under the safety car is going to take a bit out of softs, so I wouldn't be that shocked if Whoopi's got another set of softs that he can go to. I wouldn't be that shocked to see him pit again. The safety car is going to be 2 or 3 laps, so well, I'd say the safety car is going to be 3 laps. I don't think 2's even an option. I think the way the field's spread out, I don't think 2 laps is really a possibility. The Gooner is in, so he's going to softs. Yeah, he goes to softs. And what does KK? KK follows him in, so the Gooner will come out in P2. Now the massive win, I guess, is in question now, but again, for Daguna, it's not just. Not only does he have to get past Massey, which is hard enough in itself, he's then got to get 3 seconds up the road from him. So yeah, it's a huge order. It really is. Let's just mention that last week's driver of the day, Craig, has stayed out on just 5-lap-old mediums. He's in P3. What a race again this man's having. I know that I never mean anything like this as an offence or anything like that, but I'm sure Craig won't mind me saying he's not the quickest driver on the track. He did really well to qualify just inside the top 10. But he's showing huge improvements in recent weeks, and he's now running P3 on merit, by the way. P3, penalty free, around Singapore, probably one of the hardest tracks of the calendar year, against a really good field of drivers. So, you know, he's doing a seriously good job. And presumably, well, as I said, we were not going to get going on the next lap, so we're going to do another lap under safety car, which will be lap 25, and lap 26 then I would assume we'll get going, but it's not definite. So, well, I think we will take a quick look at it. It's a bit earlier than I usually do, but we'll take a quick look at the penalties because, obviously, with the field being all brought back together, it's going to be important. So, well, there's 6 penalties all in all, 6 seconds for Whoopi. He's currently in P11. The other 5 are all 3 seconds. So that's the Gooner, Carson King, Valungis, Hunter, and Crisp. So there we go. I think the safety car is going to come in. I can't say for definite, but in case it does, I do actually think Chris needs to seriously. I think the others are okay. They're only around the corner from it really, but I think Chris needs to get a skate on there because I just think the safety car is going to come in. I don't know if it's definite. It might stay out another lap. I'm not sure. To be honest, I would have thought we'd have had the call by now. So, well, maybe we are going to do another lap then. So, I guess that suits the soft runners. really. I guess it doesn't suit the Gooner. He'd rather have the extra lap to try and be able to get past and get a gap, but I think he will know that that will be an incredibly hard task. So, we'll see. Yeah, Whoopi's pitted again. Like, I had a feeling he would. What I said, didn't I? That I thought he would, but obviously if the safety car came in that lap, he wouldn't have. But I think that's sensible from Whoopi. I think get rid of that. Yeah, I bet 3 laps under safety car. I bet his softs were still on at least 10% wear. I wouldn't be surprised if they were higher than that. So I don't know why Bowden's just suddenly jumped up 2 places. Did he jump up 2 places then, or was I seeing things? There was definitely like movement on the standings. I definitely saw the arrows, but I'm not sure what position he was in previously. So yeah, he ain't got a front wing, has he? He's missing his front wing. So safety car in this lap, which was always it had to come in this lap. It couldn't do another lap. So fortunately for Bowden, that's gonna drop him down to the back when he pits for the new wing. Some way as well, I'd imagine. Just double checking the 2 behind just to make sure they've still got their. Yeah, they have. So Hunter and Twiglet definitely still have theirs. So let's get up to the front then, and see if we can spot Massey when he goes. I reckon he's going to go pretty soon. Get ready for it. Get ready. There he goes. There he goes. Craig maybe just gets caught out a little bit, but not too bad. He's not been caught out by Curtin King. Just the main thing. Set to 3 yellow. Oh, I think that's Whoopi. Is that a moment? Please tell me Bowden has not stayed out with no front wing. Are you oh, goodness me. And what's happened? Valungus has dropped down. Chip looks like Valungus and Chip Van have come together. This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. You can't stay out with no front wing at any track, let alone Singapore. It can only end in tears. It really can. Right. Obviously no DRS at the moment. Now he comes in. Bowden. Right, so anyway, we're back up to Bowden's teammate, which is Craig, who is doing his best to hold off those on better tyres. Carton King makes the move to the inside of turn 6. And it looks like Junkie's going to have a look around the outside of the tight corner. Actually try to switch back. And it does get past in the end. Good racing from them all. So, he's just got to try and stay with him. Remember, he's penalty free. He's just got to stay with him. Don't worry too much about what's going around you. Just drive. Stick to the car in front if you can. I know that's a lot easier said than done, by the way, but it's what he's got to do. This one goes to Daguna. Side to the front too. They have actually spent quite a lot of this race really close to each other, but my apologies to them that we haven't seen more of them really. But it is for a good reason. It is because the battles elsewhere have been going on and have been interesting to watch as well. So that's a personal best lap for Daguna then. 3/4 of a second. Oh, just runs out wide on turn 1 there. Compromises his entrance to 2. And hence why Massey just gets away a little bit on the exit. Yes, the DRS is now active. Obviously, Daguna's kind of got to think about two things here, because he's looking ahead at Massey. He wants to get ahead of Massey, even if he doesn't get the 3 seconds ahead, which is very unlikely for him. I think he'd still like to beat him on track. But that's not all he's got to think about, though. That he's got Junkie and, well, it's his teammate, so hopefully Junkie would help him out. But yeah, his teammate Junkie is penalty free, just literally 3.2, 3.3 seconds behind him. So just other little things going on, but obviously having the DRS will help Daguna. As we know, it's just such a hard track to do anything. He's continuously running in a dirty air here, so ultimately that's not going to help Daguna. But Massey's so experienced, he knows exactly where to put his car all the time to make it difficult. And as I think Whoopi has just had another moment out of the final quarter. Oh, he's into the pits actually, my apologies. So, maybe sticking another set of softs on, perhaps going to go for the fastest lap. You have the gap behind him to Bowden in a way. Looking through, there is another little battle at the moment between Hunter and Craig. So, since Craig lost that position to Junkie, he's not lost any others. But he's not within the 3 seconds of either of the drivers ahead with penalties though, so looks like P5 for him, but ultimately that is an absolutely superb drive again. And I feel sort of bad towards Massey because I never seem to give him driver of the day for anything. The guy could come from the back, penalty free, and win a race by 30 seconds, and I'd probably pick someone else over him. But when you take everything into account, you know, Craig has done an exceptional job today, as has Junkie Emperor, by the way. So anybody who watches my streams will know that a driver, they must be penalty free for me to give driver of the day. So it's like my one rule. So on to the final lap then. looking at the gaps again, and it is still really tight between the Gooner and Junkie Emperor, with the penalties taken into account. In fact, it's 3.1 seconds, so it's really tight between the two McLarens. Now, the Gooner is in a championship battle. So I don't know if they're in a party together, but he could genuinely do with Junkie just easing off a little bit. He's got a 3.5 second gap behind him, is Junkie. But there's every chance that Junkie may not even realise that he's going to jump to Gooner, to be quite honest with you. But he's just within the 3 seconds now. He's just out, and he's jumping around all over the place. One moment he's inside, the next he's out. He's literally in it by half a tenth now. Now it's more like 2 tenths, and Massey, in a way, will take the checkered flag and win the Singapore Grand Prix in HRF1 Sunday Night League. The Gooner P2, but does drop down below Junkie. He loses P2 on penalties to his teammate. And with it in this league, that accounts to 4 points. So that's the difference between second and third. Is 4 points the difference. 32 for second, 28 for third in this league. KKP4, superb drive, Carton King. If it wasn't for the penalty, you'd definitely be in with a shot with driver of the day from me. But ultimately, I don't decide the driver of the day. It's just one vote. But my driver of the day is going to be the same man as last week in Craig, with a massive shout out to Massey, by the way, who's driven absolutely awesome throughout the race. But my vote is definitely going to Craig again, who 2 weeks in a row now has been absolutely immense. Right to the podium, Massey to celebrate. It's looking very much like Massey's going to end up as our Sunday night champion. It's not even close to being decided yet, but it's certainly going that way. So the fact that he's likely to pick up a championship means I can definitely give driver of the day to someone else. So there you go, it's definitely Craig, driver of the day. Perhaps he don't care about driver of the day stuff. He wants championships. So there we go. There's the confirmation. Massey P1, Junkie P2 on penalties, nicks the place off his teammate. Oh my goodness. There could be a bit of silent treatment going on in the McLaren garage this evening. The Gooner then P3, Carton King 4, Craig in 5, Hunter 6. Great race from Hunter as well. Did a superb job to finish 6th. Twiglet 7th, Chip Van 8th, Crisp 9th. Monsters driving tonight as a stand-in. Thank you very much for standing in, Monsters, and well done on P10. Volungus with 11th, Bowden 12th, Whoopi 13th. Actually dropped below Bowden. I assume that was on penalties. Yeah, he had 9 seconds. Then non-finishes for Dino Vitez, X11 and Ronaldo. Let me quickly just go to the race director. Try and get through all of them before it goes out. There we go. Excellent. So, just in case they're needed. And there you go, guys. So, well, thank you to HRF1 for another superb race. A couple of silly moments in there from drivers, but we won't worry too much about that, because on the whole, Singapore is 31 laps of pure concentration and really difficult racing. So a massive well done to the drivers tonight, who dealt with that very, very well. Some really great battles as well, with some superb moments. So yeah, that was a fantastic race to commentate on. I'm pleased with that, and that's rounded off my weekend very nicely. So yeah, not much else to say. So obviously, as a league, we'll be back tomorrow night. As far as I know, it will be streamed this week. No whale this week, unfortunately. So as you can see, he's got to take his other half out, which is quite honestly disgusting because I feel, as a team, as his teammate on Monday nights, I feel very, very let down that he's putting his girlfriend over me. But you know, what can I do? Um, I'll just have to try and bring home as many points as I can in his absence. So, if we don't win the constructors, it's ultimately going to be his fault. So, there you go. Um, we'll continue our hunt for the constructors tomorrow night in a way, and so please come and join for that. Um, otherwise, guys, thank you very much. I hope you've had a great weekend. Have a good and safe week at work or whatever it is you're doing. And I will be back personally on Tuesday night for WIOF1, which is 8 o'clock. So I will see you then. Other than that, thank you to everybody that's watched live with me throughout either of the races tonight. I really appreciate it. The leagues really appreciate it. And thanks to everybody who watches the races back at a later point. So, yeah, thanks very much, guys. Good night. God bless. Love you all. And see you soon.